Hello, I am ItaJames. Welcome to Second Life and the Sistine Chapel. I want to take a few minutes to talk with you about some of the problems around academic integrity, scholarship and identity that face multimodal web essay creators in the world of Web 2.0. As you will have read on the previous page of James's web essay, the situation has begun to get complicated. The traditional methods of judgment are facing a crisis of confidence in dealing with us new and exciting multimodal web essays. One of the biggest problems we face is the issue of academic integrity. Here in Web 2.0+, we do things differently. As we look around this beautiful place, there is great use of many building and construction techniques. There is much coding and use of images. Unlike your world, we don't get too worried about where our code came from, and not too concerned about its academic life. However, James tells me that this is an important issue. Goodfellow 2011 page 138, while referring to the work of Giro 2006 states,
"Critique in academic context has long been associated with the practice of formal academic writing, especially with the evaluation of arguments and claims put forward by professed authorities in various fields. This also has a historical context as its important function of higher education within the wider social sphere to introduce and preserve principles of critique in public debate on all issues of common concern as a means of educating public opinion and holding authority to account."
As Gray et al. 2008 point out on page 114 that the societal response to Web 2.0 of copy-paste into the academic world might not be a problem caused by the author but by the institutions for not giving clear guidelines on appropriate citation and referencing methods. So James has said to me I need to try and find a way to cite these references. I have tried using the subtitles that you've seen. Not sure how I will deal with codes that I might copy, and artwork that I might borrow. I think I might have to wait for guidelines on these. I keep telling James that it is important to remember that your world is colliding with our world, and you need to start thinking about that. I think you should reflect on what Warshaw and Grimes 2008 page 8 tell us. They remind us that most of Web 2.0 technologies are really based on informal communication styles. Should you really expect a web essay to be completely academically formal in the traditional sense? I would also like to remind you that this essay is now in my space. I mean, that you are in my world. I might be sitting in the garden at the University of Edinburgh, but it is still my world and not the academic world. Who we are in the place we are has an effect on the semiotic domains that are in play at the point of creation and need to be carefully considered at the point of assessment. My world and your world collide. My identities and your identities now become part of the evaluation. ItaJames and James and all his other identities that he has used and will use in this essay become part of the overall structure. You as assessor will bring your identities to bear on the interpretation. There is certainly a lot to think about. Thank you for joining me today in Second Life, and think carefully about what I've told you and how this applies to the bigger picture. If you're ever in SL, hit me up and we can discuss this further. Bye.